Grace and peace to all the saints. My message today is going to be on gang stalking. What is it? Who's doing it? How do they do it? Evidence of it there being nothing new under the sun. I want you to know right now, I've been a victim of it. I've been attacked, and I've been a targeted individual, as they call them. And I want you to know right now, it's only partially human, flesh and blood. I'd say about 80 to 90%, 90% of it I'm confident in saying is spiritual. Witchcraft, sorcery. There's people involved in wanting to attack you, but most of it is demonic. It's a demonic oppression. Excuse me. They oppress you on purpose, and they want you to think that you are being watched by people, but it's not people, and they'll make you even think that there's people that are just randomly walking or driving down the street are involved in it, but it's not, and they'll make you think that so that you can go target them, so you can attack them. I want you to know, saints, that if you are going through this right now, your best bet is to pray and fast for it. You have to fight back, and that's the only way you can. They'll use random people on the streets to make you think. They'll make you look at things. They'll make you see things, that numbers, license plates, faces that look familiar that you think you might have seen before. They're gonna go after you. The spirit behind that is not new. There's nothing new under the sun, according to King Solomon. King Solomon warned us that there's nothing new under the sun. So don't let the parlor tricks fool you. The demons that are the fallen angels, the demons that are attacking you are oppressive. They want to oppress you, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They want you to believe that there's a whole network of people that are doing these things. If you think that there can't be any way that people are that good, it's because they're not. They're not that good. Normally, people running an operation like that will slip, and they just can't do what they do. However, demons can, and fallen angels are very, very crafty, very deceitful, and very good at what they do, and they will make you think that you are being watched by people. Gang stalking. Targeted individuals will feel like, there's cameras all over the place, and they want you to think that. That's part of fear. That's a spirit of fear. And as a Christian, you can't have that, because we don't have a spirit of fear. God gives us a spirit of courage. He wants us to be courageous. It's a commandment. Let me give you some examples of what they do, of what they've done in the past. So, the Pharisees. Let's go to the Pharisees really quick. The Pharisees used to gang stalk Jesus. That's one example right there. They did it to Jesus. They followed him everywhere, and they give their little 2 cents and commentary on everything he said and did. It couldn't have been a good work, because they'd have something to put in. John the Baptist was he had Pharisees and other people walking around following him too, and then he finally had to tell them, "You brood of vipers, who warned you to flee from the fires of hell?" And there's just, that's the spirit that they had. The demonic spirit is the gang stalking spirit that's around today. It's same thing. They go after and harass and disrupt and try to throw you off your game, off your loop. They do it to me at work. They do it to several people. I mean, it's a global thing, or a worldwide thing rather. And you have to be watchful of that, and you have to pray against it, because you're at war, and you have to use your spiritual weapons and armor, and you have to be ready at all times. Now is not the time to be involved in sorcery or the unknown sorcery, like alcoholism or drug use. You're opening the doorways to letting them in, and you can't be involved in that. You need to get out of it. I'm warning you that one of the easiest ways for them to do that to you is if you're using any kind of narcotic, any amphetamines, LSD, anything that anything that gets you from being sober, you're opening the doorways. You need to rid yourself of that immediately. Marijuana is another one. They can still come after you. Marijuana makes people paranoid. Please, if you're a born again Christian, if you consider yourself a servant of the Most High, servant of Jesus Christ, Messiah, Yeshua, You need to stop. You need to stop using their sorcery, because that's exactly what all that is. It's sorcery, it's magic, it's it's doorways that you're letting them. You're walking them into your life, and when you walk them into your life, and they know that you're a chosen individual, chosen by God Himself, and there's nothing to boast in that. If you're chosen, you should already not want to do that, especially in this day and age. You got to get your house in order, because if you do, they're gonna succeed in destroying you. They almost did it to me. I was targeted. I felt like they were following me everywhere. My wife saw it and she was like, "You need," she told me I needed to get out and just go some like out, just be at the park or something. And and that was a spirit of fear. And I kept praying. I had to pray for several days, I think I did a day fast that day. And I should have gone longer, but all to say, when you're involved in that, you have to be spiritually sound. Like you have to be biblically sound. You have to draw yourself closer to God, and you have to let go of anything that's holding you back from being drawing close to God. Because if you still have lingering you know things or pictures or videos or trinkets that are occult or satanic or anything, you could be under attack, and they could use that against you. It's a welcome doormat, basically, the spiritual welcome doormat to let them into your life. Get rid of everything. Get rid of all those things. This is you just got to let all that go. Um, occult occult figurines and things like that are it's how they get into your household, and it's how they get into your heart, into your mind, especially your mind. Then they start taking control. Uh, I had to go to the mountains and just let everything go. I want you to know that there's so many evidences in scripture that where those familial spirits will come back and haunt you if you don't let them go. And then um, let me see. We got on top of the fact that you're dealing with that, you got principalities and powers that rule over certain places where you live. Now they can't enter your house unless you welcome them in, but they can be in your town, and you can pray against it. But there's very powerful principalities that rule over them. They're called princes. And Satan has assigned them to cities. I was in Las Vegas and I felt the presence of them when I got there. Actually, all of them had it. To be honest, I was in Reno just last week, and same thing. I felt them. I know that it's real. My wife saw presences while I was in my hotel and we were having a discussion. I was sleeping while we're talking, a video call, and she could see it. She could see presence, because a lot of things happen in those dirty nasty hotels, and it was a pretty decent hotel, but people do things in there, and wherever things are done like that are wicked or evil, that are an abomination to God, the principalities have strongholds there, just like they do, for any stronghold, like drug use. So I'm encouraging everybody, if you're a saint, if you're born again, if you call yourself a servant of the Most High, I encourage you to. I'm telling you right now that you have to choose between that or worshiping, following God 100%. Be all in. Remember that God hates when people are on the fence. He hates lukewarm people, and it's time to choose. Just as Joshua said, choose this day whom you will serve. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. The time is running out. The Euphrates River just ran dry. It's time to repent. Um, Prophecy is being fulfilled in Revelation. Go read Revelation. Take 2 hours out of your day to read Revelation. It's worth it. Let me see. Just a few more points, I think. Oh, big point here. When it comes to that spirit of the gang stalking spirit, the ancient gang stalking spirit, Jesus was being gang stalked at his weakest point in the desert, and when he fasted 40 days and 40 nights out in the desert in the wilderness, get who shows up? Satan shows up to himself to bother him, to harass him, to just try to tempt him to do things, to bow down to him. And the spirit is old. It's an ancient spirit, satanic spirit. He's the father of lies, and that's what he does. He goes after people when he makes you think that you're under attack, that you're being watched, that you're being harassed. Don't buy it. Don't buy into it. They'll make you look at things right at the nick of time. I remember I kept seeing the number 444, 33. I'm sure some of you guys have had similar experiences, but those numbers are, it means that fallen angels are around you, that they're present and they're attacking you. They're in your life. You need to be on. You need to be biblically sound and not just and learned. You need to be living it. You need to be walking the walk. The walk of faith is, and by the way, you're going to lose a lot of people when it really happens. When you really get in there, you're going to lose a ton of people. Yeah, that's just a quick message I had for the day. If there's anything that I've forgotten, I know that the Lord will draw who He needs to, and He'll show them. He'll give them discernment, and He'll open their eyes to those who this message belongs to. Other than that, I pray that you guys are doing well, that you guys are still in the faith, that you haven't lost hope, and I pray that God will bring hope to you. He'll let you know that if you're doing the good work, that he'll remind you that it's not for nothing, and we all have to be spreading the gospel today, because people are perishing left and right, and we can't have that. So we need to go after the lost sheep of the same fold, the one fold, just like Jesus said. So with that, I'll keep praying for you guys. Pray for me. I love you guys. Stay safe and be sober. Be vigilant, because our adversary watches after us, watches us to see how he can catch us in a snare. He wants to destroy us. We can't let him do that. All right. God bless.